What has happened is, because of our constitution, we tended to levy about 8% of our GDP in taxes on domestic goods and services domestic goods, sorry, not services, about 8%, from 20% about of the manufacturing base that we have. But the services which account for 50% of or more of GDP, we are getting 1.7% of GDP. Now what happens is that world over, as the incomes go up of the households, at the margin, household consume more services than goods. Services share keeps on going up. So our tax system, in the name of socialism, was inherently regressive, because it was getting revenue from goods, and only in '94, when it occurred, we don't have anything on services, then we started levying on an ad hoc basis with all the political lobbying on the sales tax on services. So even now we have only 1.7% of GDP. That all the figures are over there, but because of time, I'm not giving you all the details. But the goods is where we put, and so one part of the manufacturing story that we are talking about is that we started on a kind of tax structure that hampered the manufacturing activity, and we have overburdened it. So when you look at the implications, for example, regressivity, the textbook will say GST may be regressive. But in our case, GST is likely to be progressive, or at least it is going to greatly lessen regressivity of the current tax system, which is what matters, not what the textbooks say. Why? Because what will happen with the GST is that the sales tax on services is going to increase. We are already seeing service tax increasing. And services form a higher proportion of the upper half of the income group's budgets than of the lower half. But on some of the goods, the rates will come down. So that now that particular change will make the GST either progressive, depending on the numbers. Now we have to go to the household budgets and where they are spending. Different households will be impacted differently, depending on how much is goods, how much services, what types they are, and what is likely to go up. So we got to be very, very clear that we are not using the textbook ideas about whether GST is going to be regressive or not.